What's going on, folks? Welcome. It's time for the Snug Wrestling Podcast. Today, Mr. Tommy, the NXT expert, the man himself is here with us to go over NXT from this week. Um, it was a hell of a start of the show for NXT. It started off really, really fucking good. This is the episode where it was a week after Oba Femi relinquished the title. And, we were all wondering what was going to happen with that. Are we going to find out? Are we going to get some answers? And we did. We also got a lot of surprises. We had a debut. We had quite a bit of stuff go down on this episode of NXT. And we're going to go over that. Tommy, welcome. How you feeling today, bro?
Feeling good. The show itself was pretty damn good in itself. We got ourselves a return in which we'll talk about later. So happy she's back. But let's get into it.
Yeah, for sure, man. And for those that don't know, Tommy's talking about Jada Parker. And yeah, we got the details about that and thoughts and opinions and all that good stuff. But first, the opening segment was every single man in that NXT roster was ringside. And in the middle of the ring was Ava, the NXT general manager holding the vacant NXT Championship. And I'm like, okay, we're going to get some answers. Every single person in this room is deserving of a title shot. And then Ricky Saints music hits, and Ricky Saints comes out in all his glory and masculinity, just being a real freaking badass. And, it's just like, you know what? Let's just cut to the chase. Just hand me the championship. There's no one else here that's more deserving than me. And I agree 1000% with Ricky Saints, man. But nay, Ava makes the major announcement, Tommy. Tommy. We're getting a 6-man ladder match to determine the new NXT champion. But first, we got to go through qualifying matches. So we're going to get qualifying matches, then the 6-man tag team ladder match, and then we get a new NXT champion. How'd you feel about that major announcement?
I honestly love it because I know for a fact that NXT ladder matches are so much different than main roster main roster ladder matches. But
Wait, hold on. Let me slow you down there. You're going to have to explain that to me a little bit more. How so, Tommy?
They're so much more brutal.
Brutal, okay.
When it comes to like multi-man ladder matches, they are just so much more brutal to the point where, yes, on the main roster, you will see people using ladders and all of that. But on NXT, they find some pretty damn creative ways to use them.
Okay. So they're a lot more exciting, you can say, right? More risky,
yeah.
More high flying, more high pace and all that shit, right?
Yeah, but what I found interesting is what we found out later in the show in a backstage segment where Ricky Saints doesn't even have to qualify. Him and Ava talked it out during the show. He's automatically in that ladder match.
As he should be. Why would Ricky Saints have to qualify? He's the greatest ever.
Well, this is talking about the future, as she later says to Ethan Page. But he ain't the future.
Who?
According to Ricky Saints, he is the now, in which he's just pulling a line from Oba.
Ricky Saints is what's that WWE slogan? The then, now, forever, together. That's Ricky Saints, all right? Get it right, Tommy.
We also said the same damn thing about Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, well, Cody is the future. All right. Well, look, I'm all for Ricky Saints not having to qualify because he is the former champion, right? But I'm not too thrilled about this whole like qualifying matches, and because I saw some of the names throughout the show, some of the matches that are being announced for these qualifying matches, And they're not even NXT guys. They're guys from like Evolve
That are
and
being called up.
TNA. Aren't they some TNA guys in there too?
I believe there's like one or so. Like
And I'm
one or
like,
two.
what the like not one guy, because we talked about this last week, Tommy, where we're like, who would we like to see, you know, be the next NXT champion potentially? Not one of the guys that we named is having a qualifying match so far. Miles Bourne, Tavion Heights. Um, who was another one that we named? Joe Hendry. Is Joe Hendry having a qualifying match? Like,
I think so, but I can't remember against who if he is.
yeah, but no, instead, let's give it to the Evolve guys and the guys from TNA, not our own NXT guys. What the fuck is that, Tommy?
She said it to Ethan Page, and she even told Ethan Page that he would have to vacate
Oh,
the North American title.
we're gonna get to that because I got some shit to say about that. That pissed me off too. But here, let me look up NXT qualifying matches real quick because I want to know what these matches are. Because I remember seeing some of those graphics and I was thinking like, nah, bro, okay. In early 2026, WWE NXT is holding qualifying matches for a six-man ladder match to crown the new NXT champion, with matches like Sean Legacy versus Eli Knight and Josh Briggs versus Shiloh Hill. Okay, cool.
Two
But
NXT guys right there.
yes, but Shiloh Hill had one match. He's had one match. Why does he get a qualifying match?
Think of
Before.
how fast Ethan Page became NXT champion.
Oh, okay, because this is about the future. Man. Okay, it's about the future. Cool. But what about like all the guys that have already been there? Like Lexus King. Poor Lexus King. He's been there for like 2 years and he can't get a qualifying match. Like, what the hell?
Lexus is currently dealing with Tavion. So I think the NXT title is the least of his concern at the moment.
Nah, man. That should be everyone's concern. It's a vacant NXT championship. Everyone and their mama should be anyway. But yeah, so I think those are the only two matches that have been announced so far. Yeah.
Which means
So
the other three will probably just randomly pop up.
right. But that opening segment didn't end there because all hell broke loose. Everyone started fighting, right? But the main point that they made, that NXT made on this segment during the fight, was a new guy showed up, Keanu Carver, who I believe came up from Evolve or
Yep.
LFG or something,
I believe it was Evolve.
who pretty much destroyed everybody. I've never seen this guy before ever in my life, but he made one hell of a first impression.
He really did. And at this point, there are plenty of people he could go after, but I would not mind seeing him going up against a member of Dark State just because of how he just tore the entirety of the roster down.
Well, this guy's definitely a heel, so I don't think they would put him against the Dark State.
Then again, Out the Mud is tweeners, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah, fair enough. The opening match, and in my opinion, Tommy, the best match of the entire night. Lola Vice versus Kaylani Jordan. I love this match. This match was so good to me because okay, they've been having their issues over the past I don't know how many weeks, right? Like they've been at each other's throats back to back, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not very too familiar with this feud because honestly, whenever I see Kaylani Jordan or Lola Vice in backstage segments, I kind of just like not really pay attention because I don't really care. Most NXT backstage segments are not very interesting, if I'm being honest, right? However, during this match, I can tell these two are not friends. I can tell these two are mad at each other. And it was a very, very entertaining cat fight. Like, they were pulling each other's hair, they were slapping each other, like, in a very disrespectful way. They were laying it in, man. They were laying it in. They did some pretty cool spots. This was a fucking fight, dude, and it wasn't for a title. It was just two girls, two women who do not like each other and just want to rip each other's eyelashes out. And I thought that was fucking dope.
There was a reaction that I saw of this where I believe it was Booker T was probably saying that like she has the greatest weapon. But
Oh
for
god.
some bizarre reason, somebody heard she has the greatest weapon,
Oh no.
referring to Damian Priest.
That sounds terrible.
Since, you know, those two are together and that's official.
Yeah.
So that happened. But this match, I'm with you. I absolutely loved it. It's a close second for me because I think I love the main event a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll talk about the main event.
A bit more. But I will say that Lola Vice, well done when it comes to Kalani Jordan, because kicking her ass is no easy feat.
And this is for the North American title scene, right? Because after Lola Vice won, she beat Kaylani Jordan, and then she sent Izzy Dame, the current North American champion, a little message, didn't she?
No, I thought it was JC. I thought she was saying that she was coming after JC Jane.
Ah, fuck. Now I don't remember. I don't remember.
The last person that she beat was JC Jane at one point. Like,
right.
literally not too long ago.
Well, damn, I don't remember anymore. Because I want to say, even during Izzy Dame's promo later on in the show, she was like, oh, I heard what Lola Vice said. I know everyone's coming after me or something like that. Anyway, either way, Lola Vice got the win, and she's closer to a title, either the NXT Women's NXT Championship or North American Championship. But yeah, man, this match was really fucking entertaining. Speaking of championships, up next we had another wrestling match. This was for the Speed Championship. 5-minute long match. That's the time limit. And it was Tavion Heights versus the Speed Champion. Remind me his name, Tommy. Wait, actually, I got it right here. Jasper Troy.
Yeah.
And unlike the opening match, Tommy, there was no issue here, no feud, no heat. This was just an ice cold match. Yes, Tavion Heights, he had a few matches to earn this title shot. He was the number one contender after defeating Lexis King. But the match was just whatever. Jasper Troy retained before the 5-minute mark. Technically, Jasper Troy doesn't have to win this match. If the time runs out, then he retains and Tavion Heights loses. Whatever. It was whatever. But the main point of this whole thing was at the end of the match, Lexis King attacked Tavion Heights because he's still pissed off after Tavion Heights embarrassed Lexis King for beating him in 8 seconds. So I popped for that because remember we were like, what the hell happened to Lexis King? But Lexis King showed up, fucked up Tavion Heights, and I was like, yeah, there you go. That's how you get your comeuppance, Lexis. So I thought that was dope, but I could care less about the match.
I honestly would have preferred if Tavion Heights got this title. Yes, it's a title that nobody really gives a shit about because it's Speed. This shit started on Twitter. the land of toxicity. That's what the hell Twitter is.
Shout out to Toxic.
But still, at this point, I really, really wanted Tavion Heights to win it. But nope, Jasper Troy. One of the slowest men on the roster is over here holding the speed title. That is one of the most ironic things I've ever heard in my fucking life.
That's funny.
But when it comes to Lexus as well, great. You're actually showing up because we don't really see you that often. And this is truly how people take you seriously, because your last match, nobody was taking you seriously after that shit.
Yeah. So that was a good way to bounce back for Lexus King, man. They got my interest again. And again, we have another interesting personal issue rising between Tavion Heights and Lexus King. It should be fun, man, especially with Lexus King's promos. Like, you know, his heelish attitude is very fun and entertaining. So it's a good, I hope it turns out into something really, really big and interesting for these two, you know. I'm excited for this because we've, you know, seen Tavion Heights' matches before. We like him. We like Tavion Heights. He's awesome. So I'm pumped for this feud. Anything else, Tommy, about these two before we move on?
I do really love Tavion. I just wish there was somebody faster holding this speed title.
Nah, Jasper Troy can hold this title and just beat people up. I mean, the real story here is Tavion and Lexus King. That's where most of the focus is, at least for me. All right, we got to talk about this backstage segment between Ava and Ethan Page, because it has to do with the qualifying match, right? The qualifying matches. Ethan Page feels like, and with in his own right, Ethan Page feels like he's deserving of a qualifying match. He's been North American champion for a long time. Ava even said he's the longest reigning champion in all of WWE right now. That means a lot. He's double champion. Ethan Page is. He's been beating everyone in multiple companies. And Ava was like, yeah, sure. I'll give you a qualifying match. But you have to hand over the North American Championship. And it's like, wait, what? Since when is that a rule? Like, just because you're North American champion, you can't go for the NXT Championship? That makes no fucking sense. And Ava's just like, yeah, because I'm going to make you do it. And I'm like, what the hell kind of man? Ava is the worst fucking manager I have ever seen in my life. Like, where did she come up with this?
Probably The Rock with how his shit is. Her dad? Because the man can't even come back for his own damn story that he himself started. So maybe that's where she gets it from. But I do also see where Ava is coming from. Mainly because of the fact that, hey, he's Ethan Two Belts right now. Does he really need a third?
Why not? I mean, wasn't Stephanie Vaquer North American champion and NXT champion like not that long ago?
Yeah, but she also wasn't holding a title from a different brand at the same time.
So fucking what? That doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. I'm like, hold on. Like, he's been beating everybody. Ethan Page has. Longest reigning, and he's not deserving of at least a qualifying match. Ricky Saints was given a qualifying match. No, he was given a spot in the ladder match.
Because of the fact that he was owed a rematch anyways.
Right, but I'm saying, like, if anyone else deserves a guaranteed spot in that ladder match, besides Ricky Saints, is the next biggest star on NXT, Ethan Page. Like, but no, you want one? Sure, just relinquish your North American Championship that you've been holding for months, that you've been defending successfully for months, and then you can get it. Like, what the hell? That shit made me so mad.
I mean,
Makes
yeah,
no sense.
would have been a risk, but at the same time, if he actually did it and won that ladder match, that's one hell of an upgrade right there.
It is an up, I guess, but like, what are they gonna do with the vacant North American champion? Have another fucking ladder match? Like, no, the fuck? Why do you want everyone to relinquish their champion? It's just so dumb. That was fucking dumb. Ava, I don't know what you're thinking, girl. You need to lay off the hopium. I think you've been hanging out with Finn Balor a little bit too much, I think. Cause goddamn. Anything else on this,
Yeah,
Tommy?
hanging out with Finn Balor is fucking brutal, especially what happened on Monday.
Well, did you hear that I guess Finn Balor is like a stoner, apparently, is what he said on that interview with Cody.
Really?
Yeah, he made a comment where he's like, "Oh, I smoke weed while I train," and all the memes started rolling in. Rob Van Dam tweeted Finn Balor and was like, "I'm ready to train with you, bro," because you know RVD is a huge pothead.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't seen any of those.
well, I think Ava's been hanging out with Finn Balor and RVD after making those crazy ass comments. Like, but anyway, Mrs. Parker is back. Jada Parker came back last night on NXT. She interrupted Blake Monroe of all people. Blake Monroe was out there cutting a pretty good promo, and the place fucking exploded. NXT, the Performance Center, they missed Jada Parker. Where the hell has she been?
I don't know. I believe the last time we saw her, it was Team NXT against Team TNA.
Was she taken out by like Blake Monroe or something? Because I missed the point, and I don't think the announcers explained it. Why did Jada Parker come out to interrupt Blake Monroe and then she just attacked her?
I have no clue, but my best guess is the fact that Blake Monroe was calling herself the measuring stick and all of that, and
Mm.
Jada comes out like, hell no, that ain't the case.
Well,
So that's my guess.
well, for what it's worth, I think they have the potential to have a good feud. Blake Monroe and Jada Parker, two opposites, you know, one heel, one baby face. People love Jada Parker. Blake Monroe is really good at what she does. It's just off to a really random cold start. It just came like, okay, I'm here, I'm back. Everyone missed me, and let's just start fighting. Like, what? Okay.
I mean,
That's what it felt like to me.
I get what Toxic was saying when we talked about Jada Parker before on me saying that I think she should have been called up and him saying that he feels like she should get a title first. But at the same time, Javon Evans didn't get a title. Yes, he was competing for the world title, but at the same time, so is Jada Parker in the past. So I think I would have much rather her get called up and see what the hell she can do with that United States division. Because holy crap, it needs it.
Hmm. Fair enough. Well, good to have Jada Parker back. We'll see what they do with her. And then we had the highly anticipated debut by Undertaker's prodigy, however you say it, Shiloh Hill versus Stax. Stax is the current, is it like international TNA champion?
Yeah, it's for TNA.
Okay.
It's basically their Intercontinental.
Okay. So on this debut match, they put him versus a champion, which I thought was really odd because usually when someone's debuting, you want to make them look good by putting him over versus someone who can make them look good and do a job for them, right?
Now that I think about it, was this his debut? Because he kept mentioning Holiday Chaos.
Which is what?
He got in. He was either involved in a match or was in the match with like fucking chairs and shit during like the whole Christmas stuff.
Oh, I did see a clip of that. Yeah. But okay, I think this was his first like singles one-on-one match, just a straight up um
A
without.
regular match that wasn't a no.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So, I think that was his debut, right? And I believe this was for the championship if I'm not mistaken, for
Yeah,
TNA.
but he
So, I'm
announced
like
week that Ava and Santino had been talking and that this match was in fact for that international title.
so okay, not the best way to debut someone I thought cuz like this guy's just being introduced to NXT. They're not going to put a TNA championship from another company on this guy, right? Like, hey, he just got to NXT. Oh, he won the TNA championship. Now he's going to go to TNA, right? So I'm like, what the fuck?
Like new NXT guy who's going up against the TNA champion right now. Why would this go from NXT star to another NXT star?
Exactly. And like all those video packages and all that time they put in to get this guy over just to make him a TNA champion. Like, what? There's nothing wrong with TNA, but I'm saying like they've been building him up on NXT. Long story short, there was no way that Shiloh Hill was going to win this match. And also, like, it's his debut match. Like, I don't know. The booking of this just didn't make any sense to me. This was the first time that I saw him, and he's got a lot of fanfare because they've been hyping him up as, the Undertaker trained this guy or whatever. He's Undertaker's boy, right? So I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna be, you know, pretty good. He's gonna be good, and he was. He was good. There was, he looks good. He's athletic. He moves really fucking fast for a bigger guy his size. He's doing all kinds of crazy flips and shit. But I wasn't really that impressed. I didn't think there was anything special about him like they were making it seem. And yeah, they should put him over. Because he's a new guy. They want to make stars. They want to create stars, but I didn't think he was all that, Tommy, if I'm being honest. But what did you think, man? What was your honest, like, have you seen this guy wrestle before?
I have. I've seen like clips from LFG with him in the ring and all of that. I actually found him very interesting, especially with that double flip splash that he did. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, wasn't expecting that. Usually when people jump off the ground, it's for a single backflip, not two. But hey, that's just how he is. I did find it interesting that not only did this start with a random kiss out of nowhere with Stax, with Santino's daughter,
Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grace, yes. But it also started off with her slapping him out of nowhere.
Her slapping Stax or Shiloh? Who?
Shiloh Hill.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if that's because of the random dance and the tooth fall from last week or not, but I found it very interesting that is how this match started. And of course, right after that slap, he looks over at Stax and goes, "Hey, fuck you. I'm going after your ass." And just goes at it. It was one hell of a way to start it.
Yeah, dude. And then he does this thing. So I guess his gimmick is he's toothless, right? The fans are chanting toothless aggression. And whenever he takes off his tooth in the middle of the match, that's when it's like his time to go, right? That's his gimmick, right? Oh, the tooth is out now. Now I'm going to really try, right? This is when I get crazy. And okay, that's different. That's new. That's unique. I don't think I've ever seen that ever in pro wrestling. Okay. But like before that, that was like the second half of the match. Before that, he's like making all these creepy smiling faces to the camera and like he's like staring like into your soul like through the camera like, yeah, look at me. Like, yeah, it was just really goofy at first, man. It was just
Comedy.
really, yeah. But I don't know if it's good comedy yet. I don't know. This again, this is the first time I've seen him, and maybe because of the type of match this was for a title for a different company. And then he lost too, which I knew he was gonna lose, but like for a debut match, like if this even was a debut match, like I guess I'm just used to seeing someone who's just coming in brand new win. But even the finish to this match was kind of flat to me, wasn't it? Like they try to do too much. They try to get too cute at the end where Shiloh rolls out of the ring, puts his arm around Ariana Grace. Ariana Grace realizes it's not Stax, it's Shiloh. She gets mad. And then he goes back in the ring. They do a surprise roll up, and Ariana Grace somehow, with her foot, pushes Shiloh Hill, giving Stax the momentum. Roll up 1, 2, 3, and it's just like, what? Like,
What
what did you think about the finish?
of when it comes to that specific part where he just puts his arm around her and all of that was back when Rhea was in the Judgment Day. Seth did the same shit.
No, that's a spot that has been done so many times, like over the years. It's a classic spot. Like I've seen it done hundreds of
Yeah,
times,
once did
probably.
it with Eddie Guerrero, then Seth Rollins out of nowhere with Rhea.
Yeah, they
Like,
try to do that, but I if they try to do that spot, but it failed completely. It was the worst one I've ever seen. Probably it was just like what the fuck, like
yeah, as much as they
yeah.
wanted that to work, it really didn't. It's like, hey, you've got this on-screen relationship here. How about we use that to our advantage? And that spot, unfortunately, it just fell flat.
Yeah, so not the best introduction, at least to me, when it comes to Shiloh Hill, but we'll see. He has a qualifying match next week versus a different opponent, different situation, different circumstances. So we'll see what they do with him next week. You ready to move on, Tommy?
Let's do it.
All right. We hear from the North American champion, Izzy Dame. She cut a long promo, and Izzy Dame's promos are usually really good, easy to follow. They make sense. But I think this promo went on a little bit too long for me. And I think it went on a little bit too long for Izzy Dame too, because at some point she started kind of tripping up on her lines and she had to like reset and like pick up where she left off. Oh, yeah. Like she was kind of
Apparently,
stumbling there for a bit.
on fans as well because they started chanting "Turn her mic off."
Yeah. So, and then eventually an old friend interrupted Tatum Paxley, so that story continues. This is a never ending feud, it feels like. I thought we were done with this, Tommy. What's going on?
You say that, but Kevin and Sammy are always in that same situation where it's fight, fight, fight. And it seems like these two are going to end up being the exact same way, where it's just an eternal fight between the two.
So, has anything been announced for these two? Is Tatum Paxley getting a rematch, or what's the situation here looking like?
I don't think anything's been announced. It was just a random attack out of nowhere. But then again, how Izzy kind of snuck in through the back and then waved at Tatum when she won that title, or like right before that, it had to happen. I said it back when we reviewed that episode that these two, unfortunately, as much as you want them to be done, they're not done whatsoever. It just seemed a little bit too into it when she waved specifically at Tatum, knowing the fact that she got in quicker than Tatum could.
Oh, I see. Okay, so Izzy stole it from Tatum Paxley, she can say, right? This is another title that Izzy stole from Tatum,
Yeah.
basically.
And one of the lines that I did find pretty interesting and that I did get into, she brought up the fact that that Tatum Paxley became NXT Women's Champion because of the fact that she is so beloved and all of that. But unfortunately, that did not keep her on top, even with how much the fans love her. So her saying that and then bringing up the fact that, hey, I'm not beloved at all. And look where I'm at now.
Yeah.
So her bringing up that made me go, Tatum's going to come out and kick her ass, isn't she? And that is exactly what happened.
Yeah. Well, their last match was pretty decent. I enjoyed their last match, Izzy Dame versus Tatum Paxley. Except this time there's a championship involved. So yeah, hopefully Tatum Paxley doesn't chase anyone with their chainsaw again. But we'll see what happens.
Anybody is going to end up being Izzy.
Yeah. All right, Tommy, let's talk about the main event. And I'm going to let you kick this one off because you mentioned earlier that you love this main event. You thought this was a match of the night, right? So
close, really close. Specifically because of the fact that Joe Hendry comes out right after the entirety of Dark State. And at that point, we're like, hey, who does he have? Out the Mud comes out. So the first thing that pops into our head is, okay, so it's 4-on-3. This is still a no DQ match, meaning there's still one member of Dark State unaccounted for when it comes to somebody to even this out. Who the hell does he have planned? But later on in the match, we find out that Tony D'Angelo, surprise, surprise, decides to even it out. But not only did he drop Dion Lennox, but for some bizarre reason, after raising Joe Hendry up, he ends up dropping him too, only to put him over Dion for the win.
I was gonna say, yeah, I kind of got that feeling when Tony D'Angelo came back. He's a heel.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I said earlier, Out the Mud is really tweeners. At this point, you don't know if they're full baby faces or if they're fully heel, because they do both.
Yeah. I didn't get that far to where I saw Tony D'Angelo, Tommy, because if I'm being honest, like 5 minutes into this match, I got really fucking bored and I just turned it off. I didn't even finish it, dude. I did not care for this main event, dude. And I hate to say that because I know it's Joe Hendry. People love Joe Hendry, right? And we're starting to see this pattern where the Dark State is usually the main event now. Because they're trying to put him over as the biggest faction on NXT, which is cool. That's awesome. But we saw Joe Hendry get attacked by them a couple weeks ago or last week during that Joe Hendry concert, right?
Yeah,
and then it's like, okay, no DQ match. Have these guys has Joe Hendry been feuding with the Dark State for like much longer time than what I'm aware of? Because it just seems like they just went from 0 to 100. I did not feel like this needed to be a no DQ match.
Well,
so I just
dealing with Dion Lennox since before, not New Year's Evil, but before the Iron Survivor Challenge. He's been dealing with them since way before that.
Okay. See,
Since
that's the part that I missed, I
that
guess.
Iron Survivor Challenge. But
Wait.
what I found very interesting about this is what happened after the match.
Yeah.
Ava comes out with security to go, hey, what the hell are you doing, Tony?
Mm-hmm.
And what does Tony D'Angelo do? He beats the crap out of the security. So at that point, I'm like, well, this is going to be very interesting on what the hell they do with him besides making him watch over things like the NXT title last week.
Ever since Tony D'Angelo came back, I haven't seen or heard anything from him. Like, I mean, mind you, I did turn off the main event early, so I didn't get to see what he did, but like I've been watching everything else. Like, what is he doing? Like,
we
what's
haven't really gotten anything for him other than him just looking at shit in the background. So I'm still seriously wondering what the hell they're going to do with him. Because they made this big thing on his return and all of that, having this entire video package where he's walking over a bridge only for his return to come right after that package. So what the hell are they doing with him?
Yeah, and why should we give a fuck? Like, I'm missing that part. Like, why is he even in that main event title scene? Looking over the championship like that or whatever. Like, I don't get it. I'm missing something here, Tommy.
My guess is the fact that before he returned, before he even left, he still had the family with him. But ever since he left, that D'Angelo family has separated completely. So that's really my only guess on why they're going, hey, you should care about this guy. Because he has no one on his side left.
I'm starting to feel bad for Joe Hendry, man. Joe Hendry had a lot of steam, a lot of fanfare with debuting at the Rumble, wrestling Randy Orton at WrestleMania, and like doing all these. Wait, he was at the Rumble, right, Joe Hendry? Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
You know, and then now they're
in the Rumble as TNA World Champion.
Yeah, that's right. And just the stuff that they have for the past past few weeks, Joe Hendry has been in the main event of NXT, and it's just not interesting, man. That's just not good. And I get that Joe Hendry's more experienced, his character's over, so they're giving Dion Lennox the rub, giving him the opportunity to work with Joe Hendry, but it's kind of holding Joe Hendry back. I'm starting to feel like, I mean,
I feel like could have skipped NXT and went straight to the main roster. In fact, I feel like that when it comes to a bunch of people in NXT.
No, and I understand that they're trying to give, put over Dion Lennox. It seems like they're trying to make Dion Lennox like into a singles star, which is good, They even mentioned that Dion is like the leader of the Dark State. Okay, cool. But they just got to find something different for Joe Hendry, man. I don't think this is working for him. But
I'm starting to wonder why the hell this was a no DQ match in the first place, knowing the fact that almost no shenanigans happened.
That's the other thing too.
A chair in the corner, and that's literally about it. So
it looked
why
more.
The hell wasn't this just a regular one-on-one match?
It looked more like a lumberjack match with all those people standing outside of the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, this main event was just not good. I'm sorry, but yeah. And then Tony D'Angelo get involved. Like, so what? I mean, hopefully we get a match out of this. Joe Hendry versus Tony D'Angelo next week.
I think
one-on-one.
At some point.
Yeah. Something's got to give, man. Hopefully a feud with Tony D'Angelo will make Joe Hendry a little bit more interesting. But yeah, that was NXT. That was the main event. Anything else, Tommy, before we get up out of here?
Nope, that's about it.
All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Please be sure to leave a star rating, a review. You guys are awesome. We'll see you guys next time. We'll be back for Friday Night SmackDown. After SmackDown, we're going to be going live to go over that. The Snug Wrestling style. That's it for us. Tommy, get us out of here.
All right, so I want y'all to stay safe, stay savage, stay snug. Check out the merch. It is in the bio of this episode, along with literally every other episode we've got. It is on all of our bios completely. So go check that out. Tomorrow, you've got on TikTok Live, you got Snug and Mr. Blood, their weekly one-on-one, where they do questions, all of that. Friday, you got Friday Night SmackDown review. Monday, you got Monday Night Raw review. Next Wednesday, we will be doing predictions for Saturday night's main event. And then same thing for the next week after that for the Royal Rumble. So that was 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet.